What's good? It's your boy CJ Goodfellow back with the Boston Clinic. Y'all know what it is. Shout out to the LDBC. One time for the one time. We back once again. Talking about Floyd Mayweather. A lot of people want to see him come back versus Triple G. But I heard him out his own mouth in an interview say that he couldn't, he can't make 160. If he wanted to make 160, or if he could make 160, he would move up and make the weight. But said his body won't be able to move up and still be effective. Pretty much is what he said. People talk about the Canelo fight and let it go at 160. Lara, I don't want to go to sleep. Both is kind of, two styles have been too boring. Keith Thurman, I hate to see him fight Keith Thurman because I think Keith should fight Errol Spence, and I don't want to see a monkey wrench thrown in there. If Keith fight Floyd and he see that payday, then he going to be pricing himself out versus Earl. He going to think he's better than Earl, or way better than Earl, and he really not going to fight Errol Spence then. Miguel Cotto's out the way. I know he's not going to fight the Charlo twins. I mean, Pacquiao rematch I'm not interested in. I think most of us not. Sean Porter, no. Danny Garcia, no. So I think he should fight Terence Crawford, in my opinion. I think Terence Crawford would be a very, very good fight for him. I think it'd be a good, legit way to get your 51st win, in my opinion. For the 50th win, most people thought it was lackluster or it didn't count because of Conor McGregor. Had Rocky Marciano's son saying, oh, it don't count. And what way to trump your 50th win that people are trying to, detract and take away from by beating the new top pound-for-pound #1 fighter on many people's lists in Terence Crawford. A good young guy, a guy that's at the weight that you're comfortable at, where you ain't got to, get ready too much, but just get in shape 8 to 6 weeks. He ready to rock and roll. I say because I think, you call Terence Crawford up, let him know, tell your boys to make the fight Cameron Duncan, the manager for most top-ranked fighters, and Bob Arum. It's better if fill the void and Terence Crawford belly for not getting a Manny Pacquiao fight. I think it really hurt him that he not got a chance to beat Pacquiao, and Jeff Horn did. And that Jeff Horn capitalized on an opportunity that most people thought he wouldn't. And I think fighting Floyd Mayweather for him would do wonders for his career. A lot of people want to see Floyd fight, Triple G. And you want to ask the guy to move up a 6-weight class, which at 154 he wasn't at his most effective, or 147 he wasn't his most effective. But you want to move up once again at 41 years old, and fight a big bad monster like Golovkin physically and who punches hard. And most people say, well, you see what Canelo did, and Canelo was bigger than Floyd and all that. But people don't understand that, at the end of the day, it's like the size is too big, too much. You look at Jerry Swift-Hurd versus the Austin Trout fight. Trout boxed his butt off, in the first half of that fight. But Jerry Swift-Hurd's size, pressure, and just sheer strength was too much for him and broke him down. And that's how the Triple G fight would pretty much go around for Floyd. Floyd doesn't have those legs to move around the ring anymore like he did with Carlos Baldomir. That Floyd ain't coming back. He's older. I think he needs to stay closer to the weight class that he's most effective that he can make right now, and that's 147. I think him and Terence Crawford would be great for the sport of boxing. I think they'd be one of his best contributions to the sport of boxing by fighting Terence Crawford, because you get that kid that notoriety. How Oscar De La Hoya passed the torch to you to be boxing's biggest attraction. I think it's good for him to pass it down to another brother, for him to have an opportunity to be the biggest attraction and give him an opportunity. Now, most people will say Floyd never fought black fighters, prime black fighters in his career. He fought Chop Corley, who had some Sezab Judah. But what you have to understand is this, though. It's a business. He fights on those Mexican holidays. Mexicans don't want to see two black guys in the ring. They want to see, Floyd versus, Canelo, Floyd versus Guerrero for the most part. Even a guy like, Marcos Madonna, who's not Mexican. They want to see somebody that has a draw, who has a pull, who's Mexican, who has a fan following. And a lot of black fighters don't have a fan following. You feel what I'm saying? And I remember Devin Alexander said that a few years ago, said Floyd don't fight black fighters, probably because he's scared to lose. And I don't think it's that he doesn't fight black fighters because of that. He fights on pay-per-view. He wants to make the most money, and the most money is fighting guys who bring fanfare and who brings Mexican fanfare or Mexican holidays. And it's as simple as that. But I think by fighting Terence Crawford, I think he can pass that torch and he can make a major contribution to boxing, one of the biggest ones he can make to boxing, by giving Terence Crawford the opportunity to prove its worth and get that fan following in a win, lose, or draw situation. If Crawford, loses just barely or is competitive, he gets that new fan base. And if he beats Floyd Mayweather, he's going to explode and basically take boxing into a different stratosphere. Can he beat Floyd Mayweather? Absolutely, he can beat Floyd Mayweather. At the age that Floyd is at now, Crawford's a switch hitter. He's an offensive fighter. I think he can figure out this old 41-year-old Mayvinci code. But would I pick him? I don't know. I really don't know. Floyd's body is broke down. He did promise Al Haymon he wasn't coming back. But I just don't see him fighting Triple G. I think, I don't see him fighting Errol Spence because they're very close. I don't see him fighting Adrian Broner, which would be hilarious. I don't see a Conor McGregor rematch. I think this is just the best fight out there for, both of these guys and for Floyd Mayweather to really, legitimize his 51st win and erase the 50th win in most people's minds, which I know he don't care about. But the perfect scenario would be him fighting Crawford. I know Crawford hasn't debuted at 147. He can get a fight in right now at the end of the year, a quick 47 fight in, and come back in May and fight Floyd Mayweather. I think they can do very, very good numbers. I think, like I said, I think it'd be one of the biggest contributions Floyd can make at the end of his career to the sport of boxing by passing the torch and the popularity torch and the attraction torch to Terence Crawford, and him just running off with it and taking boxing to another level and give us, and Floyd Mayweather leaving us with a legit pound-for-pound #1 fighter. And it wouldn't be any shame or, too much legacy loss for Floyd losing that 41 to Terence Crawford. He'd be an older fighter. It's not the first time that a young prime fighter has retired an old fighter. It happens more frequently than you think. But Floyd Mayweather probably would train hard, He probably wouldn't get a hand injury and not spar the last month versus Terence Crawford like he did Conor McGregor. And I think it'll be a great, great fight. I know you got to get over the Bob Arum hump. It'll be important for Floyd Mayweather to talk to Terence Crawford one-on-one. They already met before. He warned him about how good Pacquiao was, and it wasn't going to be a cakewalk. And a lot of people lose track of the fact that Floyd Mayweather has gave Manny Pacquiao his credit and saying he was a very, very tough foe and had a lot of thump in that left hand. But it'd be important for Floyd to get into Terence Crawford's ear, tell him to tell Bob to make the fight or get out the way. And they make this fight, man, and he passes the torch down to the young guy. And I think in a losing competitive effort that Terence Crawford potentially comes out on top with the fans. I don't think he cares about keeping his O. I think he cares about, facing the best, being competitive and being on top. He's a very confident individual, and that'll make for a very, very interesting fight. And it's a fight that most people don't talk about, but it's a fight that I want to see. I'm not going to shy away with it because I'm fans of both guys. I'm going to go for it because it's what I want to see is what's best for boxing, but we out.